So guys, here's the deal. Apple might be on the edge of dropping one of the most requested, most speculated, and honestly most delayed products in their audio lineup, the AirPods Pro 3. If you've been following the tech rumor mill over the last year, you probably know the story has been a roller coaster of hype, confusion, and some very mixed leaks. But now, we finally got the strongest evidence yet that Apple is ready to unleash the next generation of AirPods Pro. And maybe, just maybe, they're coming sooner than expected. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait, didn't we hear AirPods Pro 3 might not arrive until 2026? Yep, those reports were floating around. But stick with me, because today I'm breaking down everything we know, the release date, the expected price, and the mind-blowing new features that could make this the biggest upgrade in AirPods history. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll know whether the AirPods Pro 3 are worth waiting for, or if Apple is just dragging us along. The roller coaster of rumors, let's rewind for a second. The AirPods Pro 2 launched back in 2022. They were a solid upgrade. Better sound, improved active noise cancellation, adaptive transparency, and that new charging case with Find My integration. For a lot of people, they hit the sweet spot. But 3 years later, in 2025, the hype for their successor has only grown stronger. At first, all signs pointed toward a 2025 fall release for AirPods Pro 3. That fit Apple's usual pattern. If you look at their history, Apple likes to update AirPods Pro roughly every 3 years. AirPods Pro 1 in 2019, AirPods Pro 2 in 2022. So naturally, 2025 was the year we expected the next generation. But then came the curveball. Analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, who, let's be honest, has been right plenty of times but also wrong just as often, dropped a report suggesting AirPods Pro might not see significant updates until 2026. And almost overnight, the internet went wild. Were we about to wait 4 full years for the next Pro earbuds? Was Apple shifting its entire audio roadmap? Another research firm doubled down on that prediction, saying 2026 looked more likely. Suddenly, what seemed like a sure bet for 2025 turned into a giant question mark. Enter Bloomberg and Mark Gurman, but here's where things get interesting. Just when hope seemed lost, Mark Gurman from Bloomberg came in with his Power On newsletter, and he changed the game. Over the weekend, he dropped fresh intel about Apple's upcoming product lineup for this fall. Yes, he talked about new Apple Watches. Yes, he mentioned an upgraded Vision Pro headset with faster internals. Yes, we're expecting iPad Pros with the M5 chip. But hidden in there was one major surprise: new AirPods Pro. That's right, after months of silence, Bloomberg finally confirmed that Apple is indeed working on AirPods Pro 3, and they're expected to launch this fall of 2025. That lines up perfectly with Apple's pattern, 3 years after the last model. And for fans who've been holding off on buying AirPods Pro 2, this is the news you've been waiting for. Health tracking. The big upgrade? Now let's talk features, because this is where things get spicy. We already know Apple has been experimenting with health sensors in earbuds. Earlier this year, reports leaked that Apple was testing AirPods with heart rate monitoring. Imagine slipping in your earbuds and not only listening to music or podcasts, but also tracking your fitness, your stress levels, even your overall wellness. Apple has been pushing health hard across its ecosystem, from the Apple Watch's heart rate and ECG features to rumored non-invasive blood sugar monitoring in the future. Adding health sensors to AirPods Pro 3 feels like the next logical step. Now, I'm not saying they're going to replace your Apple Watch, but think about it. Your ears are actually a great place for gathering biometric data. They're closer to blood vessels and body temperature points, which means sensors there could be super accurate. Combine that with Apple's AI-driven health insights in iOS 19 and beyond, and suddenly AirPods Pro 3 aren't just earbuds, they're a mini health tracker. Sound and noise cancellation. Of course, we can't forget the basics. AirPods Pro 2 were already fantastic when it came to active noise cancellation, ANC, and adaptive transparency. But Apple never stops iterating. We're expecting a brand new H3 chip powering the AirPods Pro 3, which could take ANC to a whole new level. That chip could also bring smarter adaptive audio, where your AirPods adjust sound dynamically based on your environment. Picture this. You're walking down a noisy street and AirPods instantly enhance your voice calls while dimming background chaos, without you lifting a finger. And then there's spatial audio. Apple's been pushing spatial sound hard, especially with the Vision Pro headset. AirPods Pro 3 are almost guaranteed to bring upgrades here, making your music and movies even more immersive. Design changes. Subtle but important, design-wise, don't expect a total revolution. AirPods Pro 3 will probably look pretty similar to AirPods Pro 2. That's Apple's style. Refine, not reinvent. But we could see slimmer stems, maybe a more ergonomic shape, and improvements to comfort. The case, though, could get smarter. Think about Find My with precision tracking, a possible USB-C port, since Apple's moving everything to USB-C, and maybe even new features like tiny displays or status lights. There have been whispers about Apple experimenting with cases that show battery percentage or connection status right on the outside. That might not come this year, but don't rule it out for the future. Battery life and charging. If there's one area where AirPods Pro 2 felt just okay, it's battery life. About 6 hours per charge, 30 hours with the case. Decent, but not groundbreaking. With AirPods Pro 3, we're hoping Apple can push that to 8 hours per charge and maybe 40 hours with the case. And let's not forget charging. Apple already moved to MagSafe and USB-C with the updated AirPods Pro 2 case. Expect AirPods Pro 3 to fully embrace USB-C with faster charging speeds. There's also talk of reverse charging. In other words, charging your AirPods directly from your iPhone wirelessly. Now that would be slick. Release date. When exactly? Alright, let's answer the big question. When are AirPods Pro 3 launching? Based on Bloomberg's latest report, all signs point to this fall, likely September 2025, right alongside the iPhone 17 lineup. That's Apple's biggest event of the year, and it makes perfect sense to drop AirPods Pro 3 on that stage. Remember, Apple loves bundling its audio products with iPhone launches. AirPods are the perfect accessory story to tell next to a shiny new iPhone. So yeah, mark your calendars for mid-September. Pre-orders probably that Friday, with shipping the following week. Price, will it go up? Next up, price. This one's tricky. AirPods Pro 2 launched at $249, and Apple has held that price steady. But with inflation, supply chain shifts, and the addition of possible health sensors, it wouldn't shock me if Apple nudged the price up to $279 or even $299. That said, Apple also knows competition is heating up. Sony, Bose, Samsung, they're all dropping powerful earbuds in the $250-$300 range. So Apple might decide to keep AirPods Pro 3 right at $249 to stay competitive. Either way, expect them to land between $249, $299. The bigger picture. Apple's audio future now, here's where I want to zoom out for a second. AirPods Pro 3 aren't just a product, they're part of Apple's bigger ecosystem play. Think about it. With Vision Pro, Apple is making immersive spatial audio a priority. With Apple Watch, health tracking is a top selling point. With iPhone, they're pushing AI and smarter experiences. AirPods Pro 3 sit right at the intersection of all of that. Better health tracking, deeper integration with Apple Intelligence, smarter audio powered by the H3 chip, and tighter connections with Apple's expanding ecosystem. This isn't just about listening to music. It's about wearable technology evolving to be smarter, more personal, and more essential. Final thoughts. Are they worth waiting for? So here's my verdict. If you've been holding on to your AirPods Pro 2, you're probably fine for now. They're still excellent. But if you've been waiting for something new, something that pushes Apple's earbuds into the next generation, AirPods Pro 3 are going to be worth the wait. We're talking smarter audio, health features, improved battery, a new chip, possible design tweaks, and integration across Apple's future ecosystem. And with Bloomberg finally backing the 2025 release, it looks like the wait is almost over. The only real question now, are you ready to drop another $250, $300 for the upgrade?